One thing I'll say about doing the summer event in Star Trek, it's really quick to do, so I don't have to, but then again, there's not much else to do, so I just log right back off. Morning. I've done Star Trek, I've done WoW. Currently, we had a little TV debacle last night. Dark Matter started back up. Aaron wrote on the calendar 9 o'clock, which I think may have been the original thing, because it was probably written up a while back. But it got changed last minute because we don't watch the Sci-Fi Channel much. So we came home from Bugatti's with... Oh, it's just my beard looks darker than it is because of those shadows and stuff. But, so we came back and turned on the television at like 8:40 and it wound up being a 2-hour episode starting at 8 o'clock. So we thought we'd try to figure out how to do this restart function on Xfinity. Well, that wasn't working too terribly well. I was like, how does this restart function work very well if the thing while it's playing, you can't rewatch it? I mean, we don't have DVR. Not that we would have... Anyways. Because that's how I can see the restart function works, but, you know, I've never really had it work before because I've never really used it. Anyways. So we spent like 20 minutes trying to get that, or actually even an hour. We were even trying up until 9 o'clock, but the cable box went through like very, very many hard resets. 8. And so Aaron got on the phone with Comcast, and they tried to send through a reset code that never came through. Then they were going to send out a tag that was going to come out on Monday, but as it was only happening, because it's an on-demand service, the only thing it was happening with was Dark Matter, which was in the process of airing, and so they called off the tech because it was only for that show, so it obviously wasn't with our box, because I think Aaron brought up a Doctor Who episode or something, something else. Anyways, so another issue is we got an hour into the 2-hour episode and the episode stopped. So I'm taking a wild guess that the on-demand calls it a 2-hour episode and will air a 2-hour episode in a 2-hour block. But in a weird way, it was just 2 back-to-back episodes. In a weird way, the system was trying to put 2 episodes into on-demand successively in one group. There's no fast-forward function. And because we were trying that, because by the time we were done, it was already 11 o'clock. Because we started at 10 o'clock, and since there was no fast-forward function, right now, I just figured it out. I'm just rolling through the episode, thinking if it'll stop at an hour. Or if I can hit pause, then get Aaron out of bed and say, hey, look, we can watch the other half. Apparently I'm getting a lot of comments, a lot of private messages from people about yesterday's video. Got a hell of a lot of support. It is what it is. Pick up, move on. That's what most people say. At the end of the day, no one's perfect. People make mistakes. You live and learn. Just pick up, steamroll on. That's what I'm doing. One guy says your vlogs are thick. I still have to... I think that's a good thing. Some people want me to vaguely explain what's going on. A lot of people are like, this is insane, but for punishment, but it is what it is. I will chat with you guys probably in a bit when I go do something. It's currently like hella raining. But everyone's like, but it's summer. No, it's not. Technically, summer doesn't start until the 21st, and it's the 10th. That's 11 days till the orbital summer. Anybody who lives in the Pacific Northwest for a long time and actually gives a crap about weather knows that the seasons don't line up right with the calendar. Like, our winter doesn't technically, we don't usually have big winter until like early to mid-January, when technically it happens before Christmas. So, I mean, we're still sitting at like 80s and sometimes 90s all the way up until October, when fall begins in late September. So, people want to complain that, the calendar says summer's supposed to begin, so the weather's supposed to adhere to that. Clouds are rolling in, storms rolling in. You just gotta hold up a calendar and point to June 21st, and the clouds are like, oh, sorry, my bad. I completely lost track of time, and they leave. That's not how this works. That's not how weather works at all. But there are people that literally think that's what would happen. The calendar of human arbitration of time says it's summer, so everything else that's so human-centric. So dumb. This is why the world is dying. Alright, so yes, it wound up working just the pretty much. I'm suspecting it worked the same way that it did, and that by the time we started watching the first part of the episode, it had already fully put itself onto the on-demand, so that's why we were able to start it. But as I said before, the episode was labeled as a 2-hour chunk on the guide, so it came into the on-demand as a 2-hour chunk, but was split into 2 pieces. So by the time, like, if we would have waited perhaps 10 minutes, we probably could have, but the thing is we would have had to it probably was already up, we just had to watch another hour of the show. And everyone was like, I can't. So that's probably what. Anyways, but I wound up, like, getting to the point, I was like, okay, we're near the end, we're gonna kill Ryo Ishida. And I was like, okay, here's the commercials. Okay, I remember these order of the commercials. Remember seeing all these commercials. That's really good. And then, like, part of the episode started up and it's like, I haven't seen this before. Pause. Aaron, get the hell up. I fixed dark matter. Not in reality, on the television.
If only it were that easy to fix it.
Yeah, I know. Just spend an hour not staring at your television on mute. Oh, dang. So Aaron looks like he's finishing up parts of the last parts to get his class mount. He's already done the Mark of the Centenax, which is technically the hardest part. And I know he's done the second hardest one in a way, and that's find all the treasure chests. Everything else is mainly just time consuming.
Yeah.
Kill 100 demons on the broken shore. Well, he's a paladin.
And
so
I've done that one before.
You killed 100 demons in Felsoul Hold or Faranar.
And on the broken shore.
Well, you're doing it again.
And I'm gonna keep doing it.
Let me see, while you're here, let me see your achievement. It should be under quests. Just scroll the bottom. Okay, so it's breaching the tomb. That's the achievement that'll strike them down, which you're doing.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you have to do.
Okay.
So, I've done it before. Well, you did it before, but this is, I just fully checked. He's doing the quest that will get him that achievement, and then he can go get his class mount, which is a flying horsey. He doesn't have a sparkle pony, so he doesn't really have a flying horse.
I have 3 flying horses.
He has 3 flying horses. Well, you don't have the sparkle pony, and you don't have invincible.
I've got, Tyrael's mount. I've got the Hearth Steed. I've got Ataman.
That doesn't fly. Ataman's mount doesn't fly. Is it a favorite one? Fiery Warhorse. Drops from Kara.
Huh.
I told you, Ataman's mount doesn't. The
Hearth Steed.
Okay, so you have the Hearth Steed. I didn't know you had the Hearth Steed. Okay, Hearth Steed flies. What the other one you said you had? Tyrael's Charger?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call that a horse. I mean, it is. It has the horse animations. Tyrael's
That's a fucking horse.
It's a horse. I'll go with the Hearth Steed as a flying horse more than I will Tyrael's Charger, which is basically a horse-shaped angel.
Okay.
Because it just has wings that are constantly there that don't even aid in its flying, sort of thing. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it to you, but you got to give me that it's like half.
Well, by that...
Do you have the Horseman's Reins? Not the Horseman's Reins. I think that's what they are. The Headless Horseman's Mount? That's a horse that flies. I forgot about that one. Yeah, because you're down into the Swift. Because it would have been under Headless. It would have been under H of any sorts. The Warhorse... Oh, okay, the Warhorse is the ground. And that's your pally mount, right? That's your first pally mount? Headless Horseman's mount. Yeah, you don't have it.
I was thinking of this when I thought of Ataman. Okay.
Which there's the same flaming hoofed horses. I mean, when you said Ataman's, like... People saw my face when he was doesn't fly. You're thinking the Headless Horseman's mount. Because they look really similar. We'll probably go get something to eat. Aaron needs to game for a little bit. Do his stuff. I've already done my gaming stuff. 12:40. I may just solitarily run out to the gym. You're still kind of sick and I don't want to get any blech all over the place, but I haven't been to the gym since Monday. We didn't even go Monday.
No.
Because I was down, because you were down for the count, and I didn't go Wednesday because I was well, again, both days I was emotionally down for the count. So yeah, I should probably go out to the gym. I'll figure out what to do while I'm on there. I mean, just like, at least
Don't go too hard.
Huh?
Don't go too hard.
Well, I mean, it would be like, what, half an hour or as fast as I can go on the Stairmaster. You know, it's one of the things I told Chad. I was like, what the hell? And I've got a month now. Maybe I should try to lose weight. You know, get my cardio up there. I'm going to continue chatting with Willie, see what Mr. Athlete says is a good idea. He's like career athlete. So at this point, we're both athletes. Anyways, I will chat with you guys probably when we go out to eat. Hopefully it's someplace interesting. Oh, well, I went to the gym and used the Stairmaster. Because like, I can treadmill here, and I can... What's that one thing you use? The elliptical.
I used to use but don't use anymore.
Okay. Yeah, the elliptical. I could use that down here too, but it's kind of hard to...
I saw a gif of a guy on the right-hand side of 2 ellipticals, just hip thrusting to keep going.
Yeah.
The caption was something like, double the ellipticals, double the health, right?
Yeah, that's great, yeah. So, I burned like, according to the machine, which I put in my weight at the right weight, well, ish the right weight. It came out at 213 when I weighed myself in the gym at the end. But I put in 215 because I wasn't sure what my weight was. I just pretty sure I wasn't at 220 anymore. So I put in, and it was like 430 calories. There was like 132 floors and 25 minutes, which is over 25 floors in 5 minutes. And actually I still was under the 100 floors in 20 minutes. So I'm not anything less than when I was at the end of last September. Because I went for 25 minutes, not 20 minutes. Like before I'd get a lot of floors, but I'd stop at 20 minutes. I mean, this was like 100 floors at like, well, it was counting down from 25. So I think I would have had, I think it was like 1830 was the amount. Because it's like, at that point, math was not on my mind. And I looked, I'm like, 632 100 floors? That would equate to 18 minutes, 30 seconds. Because it wasn't 20 minutes, it was 25 minutes. So I had to add 5, take off 1.5. That's a bit, you know. But it took me like the next 2 minutes to do that simple math because I'm like, ugh. So that's that. We're heading to Old Spaghetti Factory because...
I haven't been there in a while. And
yeah, I literally asked Google restaurants near me when I was at the gym. And I thought, because I was like, I know there's more around there. We just don't see any. And it was like Old Spaghetti Factory. I'm like, that's right. It's hidden over there near the Red Robin that's actually up there too.
oh,
It's like, you know, where 185th is really big. It's like directly across the street from Panda and that chicken place that everyone's hopped up about.
across the street.
Across the street. You think, if Panda's over here, across the street...
I'm more amused by the curve, not the...
Because you don't run through traffic! You go over traffic if you can.
I love you.
Anyways, so I'm going to be hanging out with Willie later. Yeah, I might get some stuff on camera about that. I don't know. We'll see. I got to figure... I'm ravenous right now, and I don't have anything other than my phone. I should probably grab my keys and everything else. Holy crap on a cracker. I told Aaron we need to get in there before dinner shows up. Yeah, guess what?
Yeah.
We did. Holy crap on a cracker. Plus the place is like a maze in a weird way. A lot of twists and turns and doors and little alcoves and...
They put us also in the far back corner.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that one out. Probably because they realized they may be getting a lot of big groups and because like behind us was seated a group of like 11 people.
Yeah.
And I still have my pie on my mouth. But as we were leaving, I saw that the table, as we were leaving that room, the table had like 22 seats around it or something. It was like twice as big. And
Yeah,
but I have like front door parking, so I'm going to sit here and like... Nothing. Anybody's waiting for it.
yeah. But it was, the longer we were in there, the whiter it got.
Yeah, because, like, person sat down. The only young person amongst the crowd that was behind Aaron was like, they pulled out their phone and someone's like, is that Pokemon Go? Man, you play that so much, you should put that on a resume because you're, like, into all the tech and stuff. And I went, oh, no, square white people. I even ran it through the sarcasm detector. And I looked, and the lady was, you know, and she kept saying, like, no, because you're just so into the computers and stuff. The kid just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, so embarrassed.
Yeah.
The lady behind Aaron almost directly that he heard said...
She was talking about, I'm not sure if she was bragging about it or just, like, conversing. They just bought a nice cabin outside Chicago. The top floor, the previous people had to sell it because the dad built it and he died. So they bought it, and the top floor is 3/4 loft. And downstairs there's a master bedroom, and upstairs there's 5 beds.
Yeah, it's...
And later she was talking about how it was so sad because her stallion had gotten cancer and died, and now she didn't have any horses anymore. But she would soon.
What was that little thing we saw about at the turn of the century, the 1900s, it was the rich people had cars and the poor people had horses, and now at the turn of the next century, the rich people have horses and the poor people have cars.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go home and we're gonna figure out what's going on. I might do some Heroes of the Storm while I wait for Willie to clue into his phone. I've sent him like 4 Snapchats in like the last 2 hours and he hasn't responded to any of them. One of them's hilarious, and I want him to laugh. What?
Just, one of them is hilarious.
Morning. It's 6:15. We went to bed at like midnight. This chair is noisy. So I got blitz last night, and Aaron was trying to do that, trying to work on setting up and getting, from what I understand, like base parameters. 2 or 3 teams from different countries, so he could kind of set up a base framework of something to work with. At least that, again, I was pretty blitzed and wasn't technically listening very well. My bad. But I watched a lot of the watch later, and once I realized it was like midnight, because Willie wound up actually getting back to me. Went and did a coach's thing, and then hung out with them afterwards, and his phone was dead the entire time. And so I didn't get together with him and do anything, so I just used my pen. So I'm still in the process of checking Facebook in the morning. I've technically only been awake for 15 minutes. Into Star Trek right now. So I'm like, I apparently have seen that the score of the game last night was 3-0. For those of you who don't necessarily know, that was a field goal. That's it. It's the only way to score that. There's no half touchdown. You can't score 1 point without 6 already being up. So, well, I mean, you can. There's that really, 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 really weird way of doing it. It's far easier to kick a field goal. The other ways of scoring 3 points. Anyways, that's pretty much that. Again, here's a stupid thing. As typical, my Star Trek gaming schedule is not very consistent. So I'm like, I have to check my cooldowns to see if I even can do my thing today. So, I mean, I can do it today, just I wonder how long. Duty officers, well, okay, the birds are done. The birds and the monkeys are done, so that must mean cooldowns. Summer event available. Okay, I'm going to go take care of this stuff. And I will see you guys later after mod. Or later this morning before we go to mod.
So I lost a bunch of the progress I made on the database project last night. The API project. And I'm not really sure what happened. But it may have been the software I was using. May have been just how I put everything together. So I'm starting somewhat fresh.
It may have been our internet connection.
It was all local.
Oh, I thought you said you were uploading and saving.
I have a server running on my computer. It is not accessible anywhere outside our network.
Oh. At that point, I would say I'm just transferring things to the server on my computer. Whereas uploading.
It didn't say uploading. Updating, perhaps?
The way you made it sound is that there was a server somewhere else that you had to set it up for and send stuff over a network for. That's what I thought. That's the way you made it sound.
Did not intend to.
That's why I was like, that's why I thought you put it on nearly free speech, because that's where all this stuff was at, and you had a connection issue. Why things went a little funky. But apparently it's on. Oh, they flashed a reflection right in my eye. Ow.
I did or they did?
That car, the white one, like it drove by and right as the sun came out of the clouds, it
Yeah, it's all on my computer at the moment.
Okay.
Because my computer doesn't cost anything to have a MySQL server. So there's 3 stages to what I'm doing. The first stage is to build out a database with some data so that I can make sure my queries actually work.
That's what I told everyone you were doing this morning. You were basically building a framework.
Yeah.
The scaffolding of sorts. So you were like making sure that you had like a country and a team and like a win-loss record or something just in multiple different things so that you could access data even though you only had very small amount of data just to make sure all this stuff was working, and then you could just expand those features, go from a line to a wall.
Exactly. The next step is to build a PHP application that will access that database and return pieces of it. This is the API.
I can drive while you're doing that.
The third stage is to build a front end that uses or consumes that API and presents it in a nice format. And that's what I'm doing. I'm still working on the first stage. I was hoping to get to the second stage today, but I think I'm probably going to just have to redo the first stage.
Yeah. What were you using before? The program.
So I was using a program called DataGrip, which is made by same people who make ReSharper and PHP Storm.
At least now that's an adorable thing, because you know what I call PHP.
Puppy
Storm.
So yeah, their software, I want to like their software, but it just doesn't quite work for me, and I'm not sure why. But it's really popular.
Well, there's a lot of things that don't work very well that are very popular.
Windows.
MySpace was really popular, but really sucked. That's why people immediately migrated to Facebook.
And now I'm using Heidi SQL on my database. Database backend is Maria. I uninstalled and reinstalled, wound up upgrading to a newer version. Went from 10.1 to 10.2.
These like all the girls that turned this guy down in high school. I can't.
I don't know.
Well,
Really don't know.
I'm drinking lemonade because I was going to originally, but I was getting too many toppings, and Aaron went forward and got the pears, the
caramelized pear.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
All right, so we're at Liberty for a little while. Had to find some. No, what's he want? Is he just rolling down his window? What are you rolling down your window for? You want to talk? Want sass? I don't know.
Oh, he's a fool.
Your car makes so much noise. As mine starts up. Whatever. Looked in the mirror, looked in the camera like there's gonna be something back there. Surprise, surprise.
It's police. Came to get you. Can't be getting on our feet.
But yeah.
Doing boys.
So I think this qualifies as perhaps my first one-handed catch.
Yeah.
It was like, really close to one, and then Nick was like, you know, one of these days he's gonna one-hand catch that, and we're gonna freak out.
Very next
Next
time
one.
you went up.
It was like one-hand catch. It wasn't even really it wasn't even like a bobble. It was like caught it with one hand, scooped it in. It was like, wow. Wasn't Lodell Beckham style.
Hey.
I named
It's still nice though.
I named a planet in No Man's Sky.
That's amazing.
Lodell Beckham.
Yes.
LOWE''DELL
Yes.
space Beckham.
That makes me so happy to
Yeah.
know that out there. And
You're actually in that system. It is the nicest planet. It's the nicest planet, although it does have ice storms every once in a while.
Well, I am cold as fuck. So.
Yeah, I have. But then the toxic gas planet where there's nothing but poisonous mushrooms all over the place, I named Aberdeen.
Yep. Accurate and very astute.
I'm like, you know what? At this point, I give no fucks. I'm not gonna name things nice things. I'm gonna
I'm gonna shit all over everything. If this planet is a bunch of crap, I'm gonna find a crappy town that I've been to, and I'm gonna name it that.
No, that's Aberdeen. It's the worst place, definitely.
Yeah. So I get to drop Willie off and watch some Doctor Who.
Woo!
We get to go home and watch some Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
If I understand correctly, the heroes of Azeroth, in a general sense, want the same thing as the Burning Legion, right?
Well, I guess. Morning. No.
To get rid of the old gods?
Here's the thing. The end goal is correct. Okay? So, let's say you want to take out a bad government. You can do one of two things. You can go in and try to take out the heads of government and take things down in relatively a legal or surreptitious way and bring down the government, or you can just carpet bomb the entire country and wipe everybody out.
Yeah.
Is the goal the end? Is the goal the same? Well,
Yeah.
yes. Will they accomplish the same thing at the end? Yes.
They're
Which one do we
excited.
prefer? Which one do you prefer? See, the Burning Legion doesn't care because they don't exist in the country. We exist in the country. We don't want to be carpet bombed.
But the end goal is the same.
Yes, that's why I was like,
And so I'm wondering if we could somehow negotiate with them, help us do this, kill this thing, and we'll be good. Would they take it?
I don't know. The thing is, it's been tens of thousands of years that Killed Jaden's been on this warpath with the Burning Legion. It's been thousands of years since he's been without Sargeras, the leader. So it's like, that's the whole deal with that. And I'm like, well, the goal is the same. The methods are not.
Yeah.
They think our method is inefficient and is flawed, fundamentally, because we are within. It's sort of like, well, you can't fix your government when you exist in your government.
Yeah.
I see that there, that you are basically trying to disabilize the corruption from within the corruption. I get how that can seem a little flawed from the outside. However, they just want to, i.e., carpet bomb everything. Slash and burn. Literally, slash and burn. Because you've taken a few of those worlds, they literally look like they, as Sargeras has done, cleaved them in half with his sword. Looks like we have a relatively normal week.
Refreshing.
Do you have any? Like, you had a surprise therapy. Do you have another one this week though?
No.
Okay, so
I corrected it.
Gotcha. So we're in spring weather, and people are so complaining. They're like we had those nice days for a while, and now they're like, oh my God, spring, just go away. It's summer already. I'm like, what?
No.
And I think I talked about this earlier in this vlog or Thursday or something, but it's just like, yeah, no, I talked about it. I think that was part of what I talked about Saturday morning. It was like you were doing your little coding thing, and then Sunday morning?
Anyway.
I wasn't talking about anything. So
Maybe a viewer can answer this question. What's with the prevalence recently of fixed gear bikes? I saw someone walking their bike, but it was fixed gear, meaning it not only didn't have first gear, second gear, third gear, it was just one. It didn't ratchet. Moving backwards would cause the bike, the pedals to turn backward. It didn't have a ratchet, it couldn't glide.
it's a hipster bike. I've seen that stuff, and I've heard people talk about how much more beneficial they are to your health, or that they're non-standard. It's so stupid. Could also be a trick bike, I guess, so that they can back up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them though.
There are a lot of them. That's why I'm like, if I saw 1 in 100, I could assume that I've seen 1 or 2 people on trick bikes, but and I'm not sure how many people are going to be able.
Bikes, please.
Not necessarily sure how many people of our viewer audience would be able to answer that.
People may know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's not like bikes are, and hipster bikes are alone to.
Walk your bike, please. Walk your bike, please.
Walk it?
Walk it, like the law says, like the signs at front and back say.
I was supposed to.
Yeah, but now you do and you're not.
I'm just trying to kill a Snorlax here. So anything happy you want to talk about? Doctor Who or?
Doctor Who felt like an older episode, like one of the old Doctor Who, not New Who episodes, which...
Before 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before 9.
Before 9.
Which I think is a good thing. It's kind of getting back to its roots. It's going with something that is known to work.
Okay.
Boy, that sounded ups.
I can't comment on it. I've never seen any. I've seen one, and I was really high when I watched it.
I get that.
I don't know how to react to.
Okay.
Well, I was agreeing.
It sounded like spitting it almost, like you were pissed off about it.
It's because you're already in an angry mood.
Bye.